What up, peeps? Emerald signing in. I thought I'd go on this little portal right here. This is the Division of Child Support Services portal. This is I checked these little blue checks right here. That's stuff that I did. I was reading before I actually started recording, and these are things. It's talking about the child support process, how it starts, and this is to put emphasis on things I've said in the past about child support first having to be an agreement, between the non-custodial parent and the custodial parent. We're gonna use those commercial terms, so nobody try to go in the comments trying to tell me to look up the definition of a parent and all this. I know this stuff. Okay, I'm using it for the sake of so I'm keeping it simple. Okay, sometimes we overthink things when we're sitting here trying to learn this stuff. We're overthinking these terms. We know the commercial term. This is all commercial. This is strictly business anyway, so I'm going to use the commercial terms. Okay. Right here, as you see, the number one is that it tells you that you have to pay a fee. It's non-refundable. That's a federal code. It's the authorized division of child support to charge an application fee, and to recover the cost of any services performed for the applicant who are not receiving public assistance. Okay, let me zoom in on that a little bit. I wanted to bring this is one for Georgia. That's why you see OCGA. That's a Georgia code. Okay, that's a Georgia statute. So this is for Georgia. That's where I am. So you have to look in your state statutes to see how the process goes, and it's pretty much all the way around the board. They use the same process. But I thought I'd point out something that I found interesting right here. Down here where it says right here, this third one right here, where it says the child support agent. Okay, the child support agent or assigned representative who is handling my case. Well, these are things you have to check these boxes in order for them to move forward with your application. These are things you have to understand before you get started. Okay, these are things for you to understand and check to confirm that you understand it and you agree to it. Okay, that's why they have at the top of this thing in that green area where it says agreement. That's what you have to agree to in order to see right there, agreement. You have to check these boxes. Select the boxes next to each statement once you have read the statement. I hereby contract with the Georgia Division of Child Support Services, DCSS, to provide appropriate child support services. This application constitutes a contract and its terms. Okay, you see this. So whoever's applying for child support, and generally it's the mothers, they're contracting with DCSS. Okay, with the Child Support Division of Child Support Services. Okay, let's see. This application constitutes a contract and its terms. I understand that DCSS determines which services are necessary for me. If any application fee requires no services will let's if any application fee is required, no services will begin until the fee is paid. Applications will not be accepted from third-party applicants filing on behalf of the custodial or non-custodial parent. Okay. Now you're gonna check he or she, whoever's filing for child support, applying for child support. They're going to check these boxes before the application even starts. Okay. I think I want to put this thing on airplane mode so nobody won't call and interrupt my damn recording. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. I put it on airplane mode. I'd be in the middle of it and be on a roll, and before you know, somebody call me or something. Mess my whole rhythm. I'm out to start over. But anyway, you authorize it. The third one right here tells you about. Let's see. The Georgia law provides that. That's the second check. Provides that an application for the services by persons not receiving TANF is in agreement to DCSS of their right to receive child support. Yes, okay. The third one, I'm authorizing DC Division of Child Support Services to locate the non-custodial parent, establish a legal paternity of my child or children, obtain a legal order for child support, including medical insurance for the children, if available at a reasonable cost in accordance with the Georgia law as a 19.6 for 15. To review and modify my child support order upon written request every 3 years or at an earlier date if there is a significant change in circumstances in accordance to the Georgia with Georgia law 19.11.12. Enforce the child support order as permitted by law. Collect and distribute child support payments through the DCSS Family Support Registry. Okay, so I'm gonna speak mainly. Okay, keep in mind when they go in this agreement, this is more like this is sort of like a power of attorney operates like that. Is where you're given where the applicant is going into a contractual agreement for them to act on the applicant's behalf. Okay, that's why they're the ones that do all the fighting for the applicant. The applicant does no fighting. They actually just provide the information and allow them to do all the dirty work. Okay, because they have to first go into that agreement to do that. Okay, the child support agent or assigned representative who is handling my case will contact the non-custodial parent of my child or children to set up a meeting with him or her to get them to agree to pay child support. See, they have to agree. You have to get them to agree to pay child support. The amount of child support to be paid generally would be based on his or her income. If I have any information that I believe the child support services office should know about for this meeting, such as non-custodial parents' income, I must contact their office immediately. Otherwise, an agreement may be reached. There's the word agreement right there again. Agreement may be reached on the amount of child support to be paid based on other information, including what the non-custodial parent tells the agent. Okay? If you're giving the information on your own, then you're asking to be put on child support. You're going along with that shit. When they turn around and they petition you and they want you to give a financial affidavit, all your financials, you're entering into an agreement when you choose to do so. They can't make you give anything. Stop giving information out. If they're doing it on their own, finding out your information on their own and using it on their own, you have to call them out on identity theft, because nobody has consent to use the name that your father and mother gave you, the all caps name, which is the legal entity that only you're authorized to use to conduct business with, the social security number that's attached to that name. You're the only one that has the authority to use that. You're the only one that has authorized to use that number. Okay? And the address, the phone number, any information that's attached to that name, that all caps name, you're the only one that's authorized to use that information. You have to agree with these people in order for them to use it. If you choose to give it to them, right here it tells you right here is what the non-custodial parent tells the agent. If they choose to give it to them, then keep in mind at the beginning of that statement, it states right there clearly that they have to set up an appointment, a meeting, to get him or her to agree to pay child support. That's the very first statement right there. And then it says at the last statement in that area, it says that you must the non-custodial, the custodial. It say otherwise, an agreement may be reached on the amount of child support to be paid, based on the information, including what the non-custodial parent tells the agent. So they come up with an agreement. They're using that word agreement all the way through this thing. And if you use and you're going along with the process by giving them information, giving them your financials, your check stubs, your an affidavit is also a part of an agreement, because you're swearing, this is how much I make, this is where I work at, this is how this is what my income is like, this is what my living conditions are. You're going along with the shit. You're not supposed to go along with it if you don't want to be on child support. The thing is, nobody's putting you on child support. You are agreeing to be in a child support contract. You are entering into an agreement. That is constitutional, because once you get to a point where you agree to a contract, then it's constitutional. Because you can't say it's unconstitutional if you're agreeing to it. If you're giving them the information that only you're authorized to use, you're giving them the information that only you that you have to that only you have the authority to consent for anyone else to use, and you're consenting, whether you're just going along with it, or you're verbally, or however way you're allowing them to use that information, even by acquiescence, it's still agreement. So you can't say it's not unconstitutional if they agree to it, if you agree to it. So this is I wanted to point that part out, because it caught my attention. I thought I caught myself taking off about this when I first read it. So I thought I'd do a screen recorder, a screen recording, so that I can kind of point this out to y'all. Now let me go further with this here. Let me read a little bit. I'm gonna pause this for a second. Well, I'm gonna keep it going. I'm gonna flow with it. Hopefully I don't fuck up. But I made my point in this video. If I do mess up, and I'll just post it like it is. But that's the main point I wanted to make for this video. The next one says, I must agree to submit myself and or my children, in this case, to generic testing if necessary for DCSS to provide a requested services. See, now they're contracting the children into the situation. Okay, it only takes one parent, the mother or the father, whoever is applying. It only takes one of them to agree to allow these third party companies to do these things with your children, using the children's DNA to try to get involved in this. Okay, so it only takes one to agree to it. Okay, DCSS may use an attorney to establish or enforce my child support order. The attorney represents the interests of DCSS, and no attorney-client relationship exists between the attorney and me. I'll read that again. The attorney represents the interests of DCSS, and no attorney-client relationship exists between the attorney and me. See, the attorney don't even work for you. Don't even work for the baby mama. The attorney don't work for the attorney. They're actually working for DCSS, and they're trying to generate. Of course, the DCSS, they work. They are connected to the state, so you already know it's generating money for the state. So now, as they're making sure that the one that's applying for this here, generally the mothers, you already know, it's common knowledge. They're not. Their relationship is not between the attorney and the applicant, generally the mom. Okay. Let's see. The attorney cannot handle any other legal matter such as custody or visitation. Okay. That's the Georgia law where it's talking about, where that's pretty much supporting what it just said right there. So they're following the Georgia statutes. They're following the state statutes as far as how they're setting this up. Okay, I must notify DCSS of any changes to my name, address, phone number, or any other information that is needed to properly manage my case and assure prompt mailing of payments due me. Any new information about the non-custodial parent will be provided to assist the location and enforcement of my case against the non-custodial parent. Now, see, they're actually agreeing for you to commit identity theft. Okay, you're agreeing to that. The thing is, it's not identity theft if in the beginning, if you go all the way back up to where it says that if you're getting that non-custodial parent to agree to pay child support, then they're agreeing to the process, because they're also agreeing to that last statement up there where it says any information, including what what the non-custodial parent tells the agent. So if the non-custodial parent tells the agent all this information, they're agreeing to going along with the process. So if baby mama decide to want to use your information after when you going along with it anyway, it's a everybody's on the same accord. DCSS, the mother and the father of the children, and the attorney, they're all on the same accord. That's a contractual agreement. Okay, a contract does not exist until there is agreement. Unless you agree. If you don't agree, then you should not be giving no information. You should put it in writing and make it clear that you do not consent. You do not agree to any type of child support, any type of services, or the use of any of your name, your social security, not your name, the name of the social security number of the all caps name, which is the business entity that they're using to conduct business. You don't consent to it. You're making sure the reason why I tell people to register the name is that's actually evidence, and that's evidence that you are, you're recognizing that you are not the name itself. That's a business entity that you're using to conduct business. And when you're registered according to your state statutes, you can get a certified copy of that and submit it into your court case as evidence, proving that you're not, proving that you're operating, you're proceeding into this case as the authorized representative, or the, whatever it is that you call yourself in relation to that, in connection to that name in all caps. Okay. Some people may use authorized representative, the general executive of the estate. It would use, they use different things like that. I've used both of those. So, I wouldn't want to use, you want to put that in your registration statement. Make it in, you basically, that's the title that you are actually using and, with respect to that name. So that and you can use a certified copy of that to show that that you have actually registered according to the state requirements, so that you can conduct business through that name. Okay, but if there's no contract or no contractual agreement, then they're not authorized to use that name, the number, none of that stuff that's connected to that name. There has to be an agreement. Okay, and if you don't agree with the terms of their contract, or you don't want to use their services, then you have to put that in writing. You have to make it clear. Okay, let's see. I did that repeatedly in my case. I know I made it very clear multiple times that I don't consent to any services, any child support whatsoever. Now, I didn't want to be on it. I didn't agree to it. I didn't give them no information. I didn't give them no, no social security number. I didn't give them anything. Anything that they had attained, they attained it from her, my son's mom. But I called everybody out on identity theft, including the judge, because if they all decide to want to use my name, whether in any derivative, they want to use the name, they want to use the address, social security number, try to guess what they think I make, or try to come up with some type of order to try to force me into a contract. It would be, they'll willfully committing identity theft. And that's a tort claim, because you don't have authorization to use the name without my permission. Okay. Now, and if you look at Section 8 of the Child Support Enforcement Program, you'll find, I might pause this video and show it to y'all, but I probably have to do that when I'm done. It shows you that it has to be an agreement. Again, it says that it has to be an agreement. Okay, and the judges are not real judges. They're judge surrogates. They're not real judges. They are officers of the court. Okay. Let me stay on point, but I'll go back to that. So I'll pause the video and I'll just go find that and bring it to you. Okay. So hold tight. Let me go back to this here. I must notify DD. Well, I already read that part. The third from the last bullet point. Let's say the blue one anyway. If I do not cooperate with DCSS and my case is closed, I agree to repay any expenses incurring on my behalf. This includes costs of services such as court costs that the child support service office is liable for as a result of the court action being dismissed. If I close my case, okay, DCSS may also close my case for a minimum of 6 months based on non-cooperation. See there? See there? DCSS may also close my case for a minimum of 6 months based on non-cooperation. You have to cooperate with them. Cooperate means to agree. Non-cooperate means you don't agree. Okay? You non-cooperation. That's why my court case is just sitting there. It been sitting there. I never even tried to close it. I never put no motion in there to move to close it, not to dismiss the case. I never did it because I was still trying to get my son back. Okay, so I didn't want her to just leave the state or haul ass with my child. But she about to haul ass with him anyway, so I might as well go and close the damn case. So but if I close the case, she agrees to pay back any kind of court fees or whatever. She gonna have to do that because that's what she agreed to. Okay, so I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna go ahead and close that damn case. But anyway, I never read this one before today, so I thought I'd show that. You see that say on non-cooperation. I'm gonna read it one last time. DCSS may also close my case for a minimum of 6 months. A minimum of 6 months. They can close it permanently. Say a minimum of 6 months based on non-cooperation. Whenever possible, I should submit my questions or requests for information about my case in writing. This may prevent any misunderstanding of verbal messages and will assist DCSS in investigating and preparing answers to my inquiries. If I have a valid complaint about the way my case is being handled, I have a right to request a formal review by DCSS management. I further understand that please check each statement. Am I gonna go down all these here? I think I should. Disclosure of my circumstances in pleadings or other documents may be filed in a proceeding to force and or to determine child support for my child or children's. Okay. If I believe that disclosure of my information would danger my child's health, safety, or liberty, I may request a hearing under Georgia law, and those are Georgia laws, and may receive a finding of non-disclosure of information. Okay. That's if they feel danger. They don't want to put their address on there because they don't want, non-custodial parent to know where they live or something like that. They feel, they're dangerous, whatever. A lot of times there are false accusations being done at the same time. So, I've never found out where my son's mom lived through the courts at all, ever. It's always been through a private investigator. So, or a third party, I can find out because the city is too damn small for me to not find out. Anyway, to assure the privacy of my case information will only be discussed with me. No discussions can be made with my spouse, friends, or relatives on my behalf. Federal law requires DCSS to intercept state and federal tax refunds to repay past due child support when the non-custodial parent owes past due support. See, DCSS will notify the IRS and the Georgia Department of Revenue to withhold up to the total past due amount from the non-custodial parent's tax refunds. See, they do that stuff once you agree to it. Once they get the child support order established, see, they can't get it established until there's an agreement already. Once there's an agreement, they can move forward with everything they're doing right here. Okay, that's when you agree to pay child support, as it says back up here at the top. You agree to pay child support, Now you're locked into it. Now they can establish an order. Once they get the order, now they can enforce the order. But it has to be an order established before they can enforce anything. They can't enforce anything until they get it established. That's what you have to understand. A lot of y'all get intimidated into agreement. You go to court, you get be scared of the surrogate judge. You know, they're talking all tough and loud talking. You're talking with this authority voice, and you thinking if you don't go along with it, you go to jail. And that's not the case. You know, they can only bully you like that once you done locked yourself into the damn contract. Now they're trying to bully you because now you agreed to it. You know, even though they're not supposed to still bully you in the court in the first place. But you know, that's why they do it, because they know you don't know how to fight. Okay. In my order, if my order was issued in Georgia, DCSS is authorized to calculate and collect interest on overdue child support pursuant to Georgia law 7412-.1. Any court or administrative order issued outside the state of Georgia may or may not be subject to interest. Interest will only be collected on out of state child support orders when the referring agent calculates the interest and or there is an order adjudicating the interest in terms of the specific dollar amount. Any federal refunds collected by DCSS will first be applied toward the past debt owed to the state by the non-custodial parent before I receive any portion of the refund. So even if that joker's behind and if the one that's on child support, they're behind, say a couple thousand, 3,000, whatever, however much, and it's the same amount that they're getting back on tax return, the DCSS is going to take all that and baby mama still won't get nothing. Or whoever that applied is supposed to be receiving it, they won't get anything because DCSS, they're first in line. Okay. If a federal tax refund is intercepted from a joint return, the IRS must determine what portion, if any, is due my case. The IRS may adjust the amount of the refund based on the joint filing and can do so for up to 6 years. I will be responsible for repaying DCSS for any monies that I receive incorrectly. If the state tax refund is intercepted from a joint return, DCSS will determine what portion, if any, is due my case. Federal state tax monies could possibly take up to 6 months to be distributed to me due to state and federal laws, administrative hearings, or joint refund issues. While I was reading this here, you see how the DCSS they're making money off the situation too? They're even prioritizing themselves over the baby mama or whoever's supposed to be receiving this child support. I thought this was supposed to be in the best interest of the child. I thought this money is supposed to go to the child for taking care of this child. But you see, DCSS is all in line. They're first in line. They get theirs first. The child could be going without, could be starving. The child's mom could be living completely off of that money, and he's behind. And then he files for taxes or whatever. And then DCSS gonna take that. The child could stand. Mama and baby mama can still be homeless, lights about to get cut off, starving. DCSS still gonna take it. Why the hell do y'all get these people involved in y'all business any damn way? I don't understand why mothers like to get these people involved. Most guys don't call these people. Most of them don't do that. But the mothers are the one. I'm talking generally to the mothers right now. Why y'all getting these people involved? You see, they don't give a fuck about the kids. Okay? They really don't give a damn. What they're doing is using our inability to get along, our inability to grow up, to grow the fuck up and do what we're supposed to do when it comes to these children. Our inability to agree privately like we did when we laid down and had these babies. Our inability to come to some type of private agreement like adults to monetize the situation is called divide and conquer. Now they're tearing up households and they're monetizing the situation at the same damn time. You see this whole process, and the mothers are agreeing to this shit. They check these boxes, and when they check these boxes, they are agreeing to be handled like that. They're pimping their children, letting these people pimp their children. And a lot of the time, the children don't even know who the fathers are. A lot of times, these random guys getting locked into these contracts. A lot of times, the guys are not even getting a chance to see their kids. Not even having a relationship with their children. They're seeing their kids 4 times out of a month. When they agree to that every other weekend bullshit. I would never agree to that. You give me half or none. I'm not finna play that game. It don't make sense. If you help create a child, help take care of them. And then also when you decide to lay down and have fun, don't mean automatically you both decide to be reckless in the beginning. You both decide to have sex and not be protected. Now both of you should be in the decision making, not just decide one person. Okay, I'm gonna have a baby. Now you're gonna force somebody into fatherhood, and then be mad when he's not a good father. If he don't want to be a good father, what make you think he's gonna be a good father? If he don't even want to be a father in the first place. Let me carry me. I'm ranting. Let me take off. Let me keep on. Let me keep going. But it's one of the reasons I fell back from this a little bit, because I put too much passion into this, and I hate the fact that it's destroying cultures. It's destroying communities. These people don't give a damn about none of these kids and how they're really being raised. They don't care about family structure. Father and mothers being together in the household. They don't care about that. If they can keep us all fighting each other and they can monetize the situation, let me read. Okay. The next one. All child support is received and posted at the Georgia Family Support Registry. Based on federal regulations, all payments are prorated by the non-custodial parent's Social Security number. To all cases. I'm gonna read that again. All child support is received and posted to the Georgia Family Support Register. Y'all might need to check the registry, the Family Support Registry in your state. Say, based on federal regulations, all payments are prorated by the non-custodial parent's Social Security number to all cases. Now, if you don't authorize them to use that Social Security number, then why are they using it? They have to have your agreement. They have to agree. They have to get your consent for them to use it. That's what I meant to say. They have to get your consent for them to even use it, to even use that information. That goes back up to the top. They got to get you to agree, and they going by the information that you gave them. Okay. Now, I must notify DCSS if I apply for or receive TANF cash benefits for myself or my children. If I do not, I may receive overpayment in child support that I am not entitled to, and I may have to repay the state. See there? If I receive any child support payment in error, how can the mother receive child support payment in error? If it's for the child, then how is anything she received? How can any of that payment that she received be in error? How? Think about that for a minute. I'm going to start over with that part. If I receive any child support payment in error, DCSS will notify me of the mistake in writing. I understand that I may either repay this entire amount within the time allotted to my notice, allotted in my notice, or I can have the amount taken out in installments. This is something else. from any future child support payments. See there? Unless I object to the to this action, in installment deductions will be made at a minimum of 10% of each payment, or $10, whichever is greater, until the erroneous payment is paid in full. You see that shit? They all in on it. They all in on it. They make sure they make all the money they can off this situation. All they can off this situation. Okay. If I object in person or by phone, I have the right to an explanation. If I disagree with the explanation provided, DCSH will request an administrative hearing on my behalf with the Office of State Administrative Hearings. I have received and read all program information describing available services, fees, rights and responsibilities, collection policies, and distribution procedures. I am submitting all completed information with this application. I certify that all of the information supplied by me is true and correct to the best of my knowledge and belief. That's an affidavit right there. That's how you swear something under penalty of perjury right there. Well, it didn't say on the penalty of perjury, but that's how you create an affidavit. Okay, when you swearing something under, anyway. Oh, that's what it says right there in the second paragraph, under penalty of perjury. This is an affidavit. Okay, let's see. By selecting next at the bottom of this page, I am also agreeing to use an electronic signature. My selection of next constitutes a contract and authorizes the Division of Child Support Services to provide necessary and appropriate services on my behalf. Okay, this is a contract. Okay, it's an affidavit. This is an affidavit right here. This is technically like a power of attorney as well, because they got somebody else operating on their behalf for their benefit. This is also this is a power of attorney as well. Under the penalty of perjury, I do hereby swear and affirm that the information I provide on the application for child support services is accurate and true to the best of my knowledge. Okay, say the information I provide on the application for child support services is accurate and true to the best of my knowledge. So whatever they click in next, they're gonna put some information on that thing. Everything they can find, everything that they know to be correct. Okay. To the best of my knowledge. Okay, I understand the criminal penalties for making false statements and false swearing under Georgia law 16-1071 is punishable by fine if of not more than $1,000, or by imprisonment of 1 year or more, or both. I do hereby attest to the truthfulness of the information provided. Okay, so that was an affidavit right there. God damn it, I forgot I went to airplane mode. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. Here we go. I went to the next page, hit full services, hit next. Description. Other parent. I'm going to go with this part first. Other parent. So I guess you got to highlight this. So use the links to complete the application. You may use the save for later button on each page to save your work. Saved applications are available for 7 days. Okay. Now, see right here, the other parent. They got the child's name on there, other information. Okay. This the applicant. Just save the baby mama or baby dad, whoever's applying. That's the applicant's information. Other parent is the one. See, it says the other responsible parent. That's who's trying to do that, who they're trying to get information from. Okay. That's what they're trying to get That's their info. That's the information that you're supposed to authorize them to use. Okay, I'm gonna click on it. First off, the name. Okay, they got the name, middle name, last name. First, middle, last, and the social security number. Don't include dashes. See, first and foremost, that's identity theft. If somebody uses that social security number, the name, and any derivative, they use that name or social security number or birthday. All this information right here, it's identity theft if you didn't consent to it. If you're on child support and somebody locked your ass into a contract and you did not give consent on that application for them to use your social security, not your social security number, but the name in all caps, which is the business entity. Okay, that's the business entity that you always do business with. Your driver's license. Driver driving is a commercial word. Okay, that's a commercial act. Look up the legal definition of driving. You'll know that that's a commercial act. That's why the name is in all caps on the driver's license. Okay, the social security number. Look at the social security card. That's why the name is in all caps on there. You'll never see a social security card or a driver's license with the name written in upper lowercase. Upper lowercase represents the natural person. That's a commercial term for the legal part. That's the commercial definition word that they'll use when they're talking about the living man or woman. Okay, the all caps name is an artificial person, which that's the business entity. That's the thing that does not live. The thing that does live is the natural person. That's nature is the key. Is the word in there. Okay. Now, just so y'all understand, the upper lowercase and all caps are two different things. That's why you style your name properly. Okay. Anybody want to write their name in all small letters? That's a whole different topic. They want to do that. I've never seen anything in the laws where it tells you you're supposed to write your name in all small letters. So I'm not going to go there with that. Okay. Proper style is upper lowercase, where only the first letter is capital. Okay. That's it. Now, right here, if they put the first, middle, and last name on there, they put your name in. They put your name in there, and their computer system gonna have your name generated in all caps anyway. Most likely, that's how they're gonna do it. Let me see. Oh, no, I better not mess with that because they're gonna mess around it. It's gonna probably say some stuff on there. But anyway, they got names on there. Hold on a second. Okay, I thought I almost did something I ain't need to be doing. But anyway. As you can see right here, they need that name. They need that information on there. Okay, that's the name. They got the name, the social security number, birthday. I'm backing up to previous. Insurance. They want to know the rent, medical insurance. All this information. It's information that nobody gave authorization for them to use. They use it on their own. I don't get scared because somebody knows where I work. Somebody knows how much I make. Somebody knows my social. I'm saying because that's generally what we used to saying. But the social security number is not my social security number. It's the social security number that I'm authorized to use. It's connected to the name that I'm authorized to use to conduct business, and only I have to give consent for anyone else to use it. That's what power of attorneys do. When you want somebody to act on your behalf, you give them authority, authorization to use it, to use that information. Take for example, I'm my father's caregiver. Okay, I have a power of attorney over his finances and over his medical decisions. Okay, so I'm able to access his bank account. I'm able to do things, to use his finances to help take care of him. Or whatever I need to do to try to help make sure he needs he has what he needs to make a comfortable living. As far as making medical decisions for him, I can do that. I have a power of attorney put in place to do that. Okay, that's exactly and that's why I'm authorized to use his social security number that's attached to his all caps name, because he gave me authorization to use those things. That's what they're doing. Okay, when you agree to be on child support, to be in these child support contracts, you're agreeing to let these people use your information so that they can they can bring hell to your life. You agreeing to their services. You're not supposed to give them shit. If you don't want to be locked in a contract, you don't give them shit, and you make it known that you don't agree to it. You don't agree to it. You don't consent to it, and you just you have to make that. If you have to say it repeatedly in every response. Every time they send you anything in writing, in the mail, serve you, don't stop them from serving you. You just respond to it. Because if you try to not respond to it, you try to send it back to them, you want to avoid them altogether, they're going to put it in the newspaper. They always do it. They always put it in the newspaper. Then you don't even know it's in the newspaper. You just got served. It's called service by publication. So you don't run from being served. You let them serve you, but you respond to it. You just got to respond to it. That's what I would do, because I don't want them to do no sneaky shit. And then before you know it, I'm at my job and I don't work too hard. Don't work too hard weeks, 40 hours a week, 80 hours, every 2 weeks, and end up with a $50 check. I'd be mad as hell. So you don't want to run from them, because they're trying to get a judgment without you knowing, through a Service by Publication Act. Doing service by publication. You don't want them to do that to you. So face them. You gotta make sure you don't consent to that stuff. This is all a choice. That's what's called that's what contract law is all about. You have to understand that this is all agreement. Okay? Now, let me see. Back up on this here. See what else it's gonna show. See about you. Let me back up. Let me say save for later. Anyway, I'm gonna go on and stop this video, because I think I made my point in here anyway. Say sorry you did not application and then enter the social security number. See that? Sorry we cannot save your application since you have not entered your social security number. Say please do so and then save the application. Okay. Anyway, but I'm not going to do this. I was just really kind of going through this application so you can see what the people are, whoever's applying for child support, what they are required to do in order to even apply. They'll commit an identity theft from the start. And if you don't call it out in writing, and I'm talking about calling everybody out. Everybody. Call them out by their names in the document, in your response. And I'm talking judge, baby mama, baby daddy, whoever the hell using that information without your consent. You never get, and that including DCSS, whoever the hell that agent is. You never gave them permission to use that shit or process any goddamn, because remember they have to pay $25 to even process it. Who the hell gave you permission to use that information? And you got to call them out on that shit. Be willing to go to court for that shit. Be willing to hold them accountable. If you're not courageous enough to do it, then you might well stop the video and don't go and just, don't even go. Just stop the video right here and don't even listen to no more. Cause you got to have courage to fight this shit. If you don't have no kind of courage, you're too scared to fight. You're scared to speak up. You're scared to get before a judge and call them out on some bullshit. And you don't have to be belligerent. You can be respectful, but you got to make sure you're holding them accountable. You can do it with respect, but you got to also not be scared either. You can't be trembling in your damn voice, scared of them. You just got to be willing to speak up. And and that's why it's good to study this stuff, so you'll know what you're talking about when you open your mouth, because you've read it for yourself. Okay? But I'm gonna go ahead. I don't never make my videos this damn long, but I found this and thought I'd make a video, and I'm gonna go ahead and shut it on down, and you'll see y'all on the next video. This has been a minute since I've done one, so I'm at the point where I can actually make a whole lot more videos. So I'm about to get it popping. Y'all, we'll talk to y'all later on the next go round. Emerald signing out.